Hello and welcome to the Dark Reading News Desk from Black Hat USA 2025. We are thrilled to welcome Sasha and Ruikai to discuss their new research, thinking outside the sink, how tree of AST redefines the boundaries of data flow analysis. A tongue twister, but it sounds very interesting.
Thank you. Thank you.
So, a new framework for vulnerability discovery. Tell me about it.
Yeah. So before that, like quick on, I think right now just a lot of hype about AI, specifically in security. For example, Cloud just released their, actually Cloud have like a new feature of like vulnerability scan. But I think there's a lot that you should consider about specifically when you put AI into security. There's a lot of questions. There's a lot of problems and questions you should think about. And for us, we're approaching the specific task of vulnerability discovery to exploit generation, where you basically find one vulnerability and you also exploit it from a perspective that we think is pretty novel and it's pretty fun from the tainted analyst perspective. So we sort of get this idea from bug counting ourselves. Me and Sasha, we are both vulnerability researchers, so we sort of like have idea like how to find bug, but we sort of like take that human heuristic in how we hunt bugs and take it to LLMs with the tree of thought paper developed by Google DeepMind to sort of create like a novel or like fun way about finding bugs and its way to like make POC and stuff like that.
To add on it, the main motivation to create a framework was that we thought that there is so much human process that is manual every time you search for vulnerability. So there is a manual list of steps, which is mostly the same every time. And we thought, how can we automate with steps? Because the technology is at the edge when we can do so. So we thought, if we want to automate what a human does, so a program works like a human, we need to find appropriate frameworks which allow us to do so. And basically the research is that we found such frameworks, we found the technical way, and we automated both manual way and the strategic thinking with LMs.
Exactly.
So would it be fair to say that to some extent the manual oversight that would be required for the vulnerability discovery process, you've lessened it to some degree? Not eliminated it entirely, because it's always good to have someone checking stuff.
Yeah.
But you would say that you've taken a little bit more of the load off the shoulders.
Yeah, definitely. We're sort of aiming for autonomous framework where the thing is, you can either, we call it human in the loop, like human with AI, so it has more like an assistant role. But for us, like the whole framework will be aiming more about autonomous, like making human decisions about like vulnerability hunting specifically. But definitely, you will still need human to find bugs, validate bugs, and stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
Absolutely. When we're thinking about decreasing the work, one thing that comes to my mind is how do we validate the results? This is the classic question. We devoted some time during our talk. When we were gathering the results, you need to verify the results in order to make sure that vulnerability that the program found aren't false positives. They're rare, but they still can happen. So you need to verify every chain manually. But mostly it's, of course, autonomous.
Yeah.
So how are you thinking about, just broadly speaking, this moment of AI that security's having? Or just, I think, like LLM technology in general, because you see these stories where you really see how well applied LLMs can really take some of the repetitive work off of the security analysts. But at the same time, some folks will over-rely on things like vibe coding, and that creates like issues because there's not enough person in the equation either. So I guess, how are you philosophically thinking about this moment of AI that we're having?
I can take this one. So LMs tend to miss a lot of stuff. That's definite. We are never supplying the whole context to the LM. So LM works with strategic small piece of code and makes a targeted decision based on it. We do not take a whole code base, send it over to LM and ask, is there a vulnerability? Because obviously it will miss a lot of things. And if we're speaking about the philosophy of, people vibe coding and thus creating vulnerabilities, yeah, it's definitely happening. That's why we pretty much decided to make the framework as well.
Yeah, and about vibe coding, actually GPT-5 just came out just like a few minutes ago.
Yeah.
That was exciting. Yeah, and also Cloud Code. Well, I think about vibe coding, just a lot of people asking similar question recently. Just in Black Hat, we've been sort of talking about like that specific question about vibe coding, how it's affecting security. Well, my opinion is you can approach it like whether if it enhance security, because I think a lot of LLMs are better than a lot of us at coding right now, so they might know a lot about security. But on the other side, it might also like adds up to like more security risk because they're essentially next token prediction machine. You enter a prompt, they like write code for you, and at that meantime, they might do some stupid stuff like in order to like. Sorry, stupid stuff in order to like just.
That's what I heard.
Yeah, to achieve the goal. They don't care about security. They just want to like finish the task. So I think you can say that vibe coding definitely give it like more security in the field, but also create more like opportunity for the threat hunters and actors about like insecure like codes and stuff. Yeah.
Thinking about your framework, so I know that some of the initial security products that have come out have attempted to automate the vulnerability discovery process to some extent already. I guess where is the differentiator? How is your framework either improving on or acting as an alternative? Like, I guess because this is new, how does it compare to what came before?
Absolutely, it's a good question. I can start and let's
Sure.
continue. So there are many established cybersecurity products which are doing autonomous vulnerability discovery, and they're all really interesting. Approaches vary significantly. Our approach does not try to replace; it just provides alternative, which is in some ways better. So we all try to do the same thing. We try to find vulnerability, but it also depends on the area where we can find vulnerabilities as well.
Yeah. And also, I think this is a fantastic question. So I think also it's sort of related to people's idea of the role of AI, specifically in security of bug hunting. Like some people will say that AI will entirely like replace like the human work of it or like the existing static analyzing framework. But for us, I think one thing I really love is we are more based off like a existing static analyzing approach and the methodology that's still like just like probably 10 paper up about like one old static like analyze methodology, and we sort of developed from that, from like the like how the smart people in the college or like how these papers are written like in this way that is already validated. But with that validated framework, we still put LLMs in to sort of like solve this problem with a bit old school approach, but also make it more just better. Yeah, I would say that.
To add on top of it, we were talking about like the conclusions, our research, and this is actually one of them. If there is a cybersecurity task which can be automated with LMs, you delegate strategic thinking to LMs, you do manual work by deterministic program, and this applies to old methods as well, because old methods, they were written like 20, 30 years ago. People use them without like thinking. It's kind of like part of a mindset, but they can actually be enhanced with AI and tools, old school tools like fuzzing, static dynamic analysis. They also have plenty of room to integrate AI in. So yeah.
Excellent. Well, Sasha, Ruikai, thank you very much.
Of course.
As we wrap up, any final thoughts for the folks at home? Any big takeaways about your research?
Well, we obviously want to thank everybody who was helping us with the
Exactly.
research. We especially want to thank our computer science teacher for meeting us.
Mr. Sales.
Sure.
Mr. Sales, thank you. So, yep.
Excellent.
Yeah, definitely. And one takeaway is when we think of AI or this new stuff coming in, I think a cool way is we'll be sticking to the stuff we have before and trying to like sort of replace that step gradually. And this is sort of what we see in our like research, like what works and what makes sense. Yeah.
And one thing that I wanted to acknowledge, which I think is so cool, like we were talking before this, is that so you're both in the same high school.
Yeah.
I graduated high school 1 year ago. Patrick is currently a freshman in high school.
And the youngest sort of presenters at Black Hat this year. So
Yeah,
that's so
I'm honored.
awesome.
I'm lucky. Thank you so much. I'm so lucky to be here.
So congratulations to both of you.
Thank
Very
you.
cool research. Thank you very much for joining us at the Dark Reading News Desk at Black Hat USA 2025. My name is Alex. Thank you so much for watching. See you next time.